Hello everybody, I'm going to teach you the first lesson of civics, that is what is democracy and why democracy. Let us learn the first lesson of civics. It's a very interesting lesson. I hope you enjoy learning this lesson. Okay, let's know the meaning of democracy. You have studied about democracy in your previous classes. As you know that democracy is the rule of people. When people have the right to rule, I mean when people have the right to choose their leaders, that is known as democracy. When rulers are elected by the people, that term is democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which rulers are elected by the people. One chief factor common to all democracies is that government is chosen by the people. India is a democratic country. In India, the rulers choose their leaders. The leaders are chosen by the people. Now, there are some countries that are non democratic and some countries are democratic. The non democratic countries are the countries in which the rulers do not elect their leaders. You do not have the right to choose your leader in a non democratic country. Some countries are ruled by dictators, some countries are ruled by kings, some countries are ruled by army. The people have no voting rights. For example, Myanmar. In Myanmar, rulers were not elected by the people. Those who were in charge of the army of the country took over as rulers, and people had no say in this decision. In some countries, people do not have the right to take decisions, people do not have the right to vote, people cannot choose their leaders, because some countries are ruled by army, some countries are ruled by dictators, some are ruled by monarch. Monarch means king or queen. Even even if some countries have monarchy, they have democracy. So dictators like Pinochet is from Chile. Okay, dictators like Pinochet are not elected by the people. There are some dictators, there are some leaders who are not elected by people. India is a democratic country. In India, you can choose your leaders. Now let us know the features of democracy. The features of democracy are like this. We will come to it one by one. The simple definition of democracy gives rise to various questions. Okay, the features are presented in the form of questions. I will tell you the features once again with examples. These are the features in the form of questions. Who are the rulers in this definition? What kind of election constitutes a democratic election? Who are the people who can elect the rulers or get elected as rulers? Finally, what form of government is a democracy? See, let's take the example of Pakistan. In Pakistan is a democratic country, no doubt, but something happened in 1999 in Pakistan. Some countries like Pakistan did not have democracy. In Pakistan, General Pervez Musharraf led a military coup in October 1999. There was a military dictator in Pakistan. He forcefully became the president of Pakistan in 1999. He overthrew the democratically elected government and went on to become the president of the country. In 2002, he held a referendum in the country that granted him 5-year extension. See, Pakistan was a country, it was a democratic country, but Pakistan was forcefully ruled by Pervez Musharraf in 1999. Pervez Musharraf became the president of Pakistan in 2002. He said that he has become the president of Pakistan through a referendum. Referendum means that you ask questions for elections and then you are elected. So he said, with the help of referendum, I became the president of Pakistan. So Pervez Musharraf became the president of Pakistan by force. Okay, he was granted 5-year extension. So in 1999, Pakistan did not have democracy. Pervez Musharraf forcefully became the president of Pakistan. He said, I became the president with the help of a referendum. Referendum means people will ask questions, and according to the questions, the leader is elected. And in 2002, he forcefully became the president of Pakistan. He got 5-year extension. So, Pervez Musharraf's government passed legal framework order. See, they had elections. They had national and provincial elections. They had elections were held to the national and provincial assembly. Elected representatives were granted some powers. See, elections were there in Pakistan when Pervez Musharraf was ruling, but final powers are rested in the hands of Pervez Musharraf. See, they were cheating people in the name of democracy. Elections were held, leaders were chosen, but finally the powers are in the hands of Pervez Musharraf. Whatever Pervez Musharraf says, that the people have to follow. Pervez Musharraf forcefully became the president of Pakistan. People had no say. People could choose their leaders, but finally the power was in the hands of Pervez Musharraf. See, in dictatorship, in monarchy, people do not have any say. So, we can conclude that in a democracy, the final decision making power must rest with those elected by the people. Pervez Musharraf had the final power when he was ruling Pakistan. That should not be the feature of democracy. Let's now come to the first feature of democracy. The first feature of democracy is that the final power must be rested in the hands of those who have been elected by the people. Pervez Musharraf was not elected by the people. How can he have the final powers? So it is not a democratic country. According to democracy, those who have been elected by the people must have powers. Okay, let's take the second example of democracy, second feature of democracy. I'll teach you the second feature with the help of an example. The second feature is free and fair electoral competition. In China, China is a communist country. In China, only one government is ruling, that is Communist Party of China. Elections are held in China after 5 years. The Congress, the National People's Congress is the Parliament of China. Elections are held in China after 5 years, and the Parliament of China is called National People's Congress. See, before anybody contests elections, before anybody takes part in elections, they should take the permission of Chinese Communist Party. In China, one party is dominating the people, that is Chinese Communist Party. People of China have no say because they are dominated by Chinese Communist Party. They say they have democracy, they say they have elections, but finally the powers are in the hands of Chinese Communist Party. The government is always formed by the Chinese Communist Party. So, elections are held in China after every 5 years. The uh, Chinese parliament is known as National People's Congress. Elections are held. Those who want to take part in elections have to take the permission of the only party, that is,
It's 11 o'clock.
Chinese Communist Party. Government is always formed by the Chinese Communist Party. The National People's Congress, that is the Parliament of China, they have the power to appoint the President of China. The National People's Congress has 3,000 members elected from all over China. Sometimes some members are elected by the army. As I told you, before taking part in elections in China, they should have the permission of Chinese Communist Party. So in China, only one party is dominating, that is Chinese Communist Party. All those who are members of Chinese Communist Party or 8 smaller parties allied to it, there are small parties allied to the Chinese Communist parties, were allowed to contest elections in 2002 and 2003. See, earlier party was all government was always formed by the Chinese Communist Party, and earlier only the members of Chinese Communist Party became the members of the parliament, became the members of the National People's Congress. So this was the only party that was ruling in China. They dominated the people. Elections will be held, but the elections are controlled by Chinese Communist Party. And if anybody wants to take part in elections, they have to take the permission of Chinese Communist Party. So this party was only ruling. That is not democracy. You should not be dominated by any communist party, by any political party in democracy. Okay, let us take the example of Mexico. In Mexico, one party was ruling in Mexico from the year 2000. The name of this party was PRI. Its full form is Institutional Revolutionary Party. Mexico became independent in 1930. Mexico used to have elections after every 6 years to elect its president. See, Mexico became independent in 1930. Since then, elections were there. But till 2000, one party started ruling in Mexico. The name of that party is PRI. PRI used to play dirty tricks to win elections. That means they were never fair in winning elections, they were never honest in winning elections. They played dirty tricks to win elections. When you play dirty tricks to win elections, that is not democracy. You are cheating people in the name of democracy. So till 2000, all the elections were won by only one party, that is PRI. Let's see how they won the elections by using dirty tricks. See, all those employed in government offices were forced to attend party meetings. All those employed in government offices had to attend party meetings, and the teachers of government schools forced parents to vote for PRI. Polling booth was shifted from one place to another so that people could not vote. PRI spent a lot of money in the campaign for its candidates. See, they played dirty tricks to elections. Those who were employed in government offices were forced to attend party meetings, and the teachers of government schools had to force parents to vote for the only party, that is PRI. And the PRI party shifted their polling booth so that it will be difficult for the people to cast vote in the last minute. And PRI spent a lot of money in campaigning for its candidates. So the second feature is that democracy must be based on free and fair election, where those currently in power must have a fair chance of losing. See, there should be free and fair election in democracy. Those who are already in power, they should lose for the next time. They cannot play dirty tricks to win elections. Next feature, democracy is based on one person, one vote and one value. See, democracy is based on fundamental or main principle of political equality. One should not be denied vote. Everybody is equal in democracy. Everybody must have the right to vote. Nobody should be denied voting. Nobody should not be told that they are not supposed to vote. Till 2015 in Saudi Arabia, women did not have the right to vote. Women were not allowed to vote in Saudi Arabia till 2015. Estonia. Estonia is a country that has made its citizenship rules. See, the Russian minority, there are Russian people in a country called Estonia. Okay, they were not allowed to vote. It was difficult for them to vote. And there is a country called Fiji. The local Fijians, see, those who are it is in the electoral system, the vote of an indigenous Fiji, see, the vote of the people who are already living in Fiji has more value than Indian Fijian. Fiji is a country. There are Indian Fijians. There are some people of Indian origin Okay, living in Fiji, their vote doesn't have any value. The local Fijians, the indigenous Fijians, okay, they only their vote only has value. So the feature of democracy, this highlights that in a democracy, every adult citizen must have one vote. Every person must have one vote, and that vote must have one value. In Saudi Arabia, women were not allowed to vote. That is really unfair. In Estonia, the Russian people in Estonia were not allowed to vote. In Fiji, the Indian Fijians, people of Indian origin who came and settled in Fiji, were not allowed to vote. Now let's come to the next feature of democracy, rule of law and respect for rights. Zimbabwe is a country in Africa. Zimbabwe became independent in 1980 from the white minority. Zimbabwe was ruled by the white people. In 1980, they became independent. And when Zimbabwe got independence, one new party was formed, ZANU PF. Okay, now Zimbabwe became independent in 1980 from the white minority, and then the country has been ruled by one party that led to freedom struggle, ZANU PF, and its leader. The leader of ZANU PF party was Robert Mugabe. Robert Mugabe's party, ZANU PF, started ruling ever since Zimbabwe got independence. Elections are held regularly in Zimbabwe, no doubt. They say they have democracy. The President Mugabe, the new president after independence in Zimbabwe, was popular because he also played dirty tricks to win elections. The ZANU PF party used unfair practices to win elections. Let's see, okay, how they used unfair practices in elections. There was a law that limited the right to criticize the president. Okay, see, in Zimbabwe, television and radio was controlled by the ZANU PF party that gave only ruling party's version. There were independent newspapers, but government harassed the journalists who went against the government. Not a government. It was not exactly a democratic government. Democratic government rules within the limits set by the constitutional law and citizen rights. So Zimbabwe became independent in 1980. After Zimbabwe became independent from the white people, there was one party that was ruling in Zimbabwe. The name of that party was called ZANU PF. The leader of ZANU PF was Robert Mugabe. He used dirty tricks to win elections, and this party changed its constitution several times, and Robert Mugabe was less accountable. He was not answerable to anybody, and opposition party workers were harassed. ZANU PF party harassed the opposition party. Public protest and demonstration against the government became illegal. You were not allowed to criticize the president. They took over, they controlled radio and television, and independent newspapers, okay, were harassed by the government. All the journalists who write anything about the party formed by ZANU PF, okay, will be harassed, and the government has ignored some of the court judgments and went against it and had pressurized the judges. So ZANU PF, the party that was formed in Zimbabwe after independence, played dirty tricks to win elections. They used unfair practices. Robert Mugabe was the leader of the ZANU PF party. Nobody was supposed to question him, and he harassed the parties, opposition parties. The ZANU PF party controlled radio and television, and the government harassed the journalists. If they wrote anything against the party, they They ignored the judgment of the court and pressurized the judges, and so the entire Zimbabwe, this country was completely under the rule of ZANU PF. The people had no powers, the people had no say, they were forcefully ruled by this party. So this was a government by force. Government by force is not a democratic government. Even though they have elections, okay, every time elections were won by ZANU PF. If elections are won by wrong means, then that is not democracy. That is cheating people in the name of democracy. Now, democracy. Let's see, okay, how we can reduce democracy. Rulers elected by the people take all major decisions. In a democracy, the rulers elected by the people, they only take major decisions. Okay, the final decision should be in the hands of those who have been elected by the people. Elections offer free and fair opportunity to the people to change the current rulers. The choice and opportunity is available to all people on equal basis. In a democracy, everybody is equal. Everybody, the exercise of choice leads to government limited by basic rules of constitution and citizen rights. So, the democracy is based on constitution and citizen rights. There are some arguments against democracy. Okay, there are some disadvantages of democracy. In a democracy, the leader keeps on changing, that causes political instability. When, see, in a democracy, when the leaders are different as they keep on changing, that may lead to some instability. Democracy is all about competition and power play. There is no morality left in democracy. And in democracy, let's see the third characteristic. Many people have to be consulted, that leads to delay. And next is, elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people. See, those who have been elected, they don't know what is best for the people. They make bad decisions. Those who have been elected by the people, they don't know what is best for the people and they make wrong decisions. Democracy leads to corruption since it is based on electoral competition. See, democracy can lead to corruption because it is all about corruption. And ordinary people, the common people, those who are voting, they don't know what is good for them. They should not decide anything. They don't know what is good for them. They choose the leaders. The leaders also do not know what is good for the people. They make bad decisions. So these are the disadvantages or arguments against democracy. Democracy is an ideal form of government. We choose our leaders. It is better than monarchy and dictatorship. But there are disadvantages of democracy. Let's talk about argument in favor of democracy. See, let's talk about the positive things about democracy. Why is democracy ideal? Why is democracy the best form of government? A democratic government is better because it is accountable form of government. A democratic form of government is answerable. If anything goes wrong, a democratic government is answerable. They have to explain why something has gone wrong. Okay, for example, in China and India, there was famine. In 1958 to 1961, there was shortage of food, famine. China was badly hit. India was not badly hit. Okay, though India had economic problems, though India had money problems, India responded to food scarcity compared to China. During famine from 1958 to 1961, India was badly affected. Sorry, China was badly affected. India was not affected because China was ruled by only party. China had only one party, Chinese Communist Party of China. Okay, in our country there are many parties. Since China did not have proper democracy, Chinese government suffered a lot. But we had a lot of economic problems. We didn't suffer as much as China. because of our democracy. So, democracy is better than any other form of government, and democracy improves the quality of decision making. In a democratic government, many people have to be consulted, many things have to be discussed with many people are involved, many people have to take part in discussions, meetings, and they are able to pinpoint the mistakes in the decision. So a democracy is a very time consuming government. Many people have to be consulted, many people's opinion should be taken into consideration, and however, the advantage of time taking over important decision reduces the chances of rash or irresponsible decision. See, democracy is very good even though many people have to be consulted for decision making. The final decision will be the best decision. It will not be any irresponsible or rash decision. And democracy, let us, okay, arguments in favor of democracy. Okay, this is the next feature of arguments in favor of democracy. See, in democracy, people have difference of opinions and interest. And see, in democracy, the conflicts and differences can be solved better. Many people have differences of opinion, interest. So these conflicts and differences, whenever there are fights, democracy can solve fights. People belonging to different regions speak different languages, follow different religions, they have different castes. So whenever there is any clash, conflict, or fight between different people, democracy can solve it in a better manner. See, in any government, there will be fights, conflicts, differences of opinions, interests. So it is best solved in a democratic country. Democracy increases or enhances the dignity of citizens. Democracy gives dignity and respect to the citizens. It is based on principle of political equality. See, whether you are poor, whether you are less educated, whether you are rich or whether you are highly educated, everybody is equal in democracy. Nobody is left out. Nobody is disrespected. Nobody's dignity is taken away in democracy. Democracy is better than any other form of government because it corrects our mistakes. See, mistakes are bound to happen in every government, but in a democratic government, mistakes can be rectified. There is no government that can guarantee no mistakes will be made. Whatever government is there in whichever country, these mistakes are definitely going to take place. But in a democratic government, the mistakes can be corrected. It makes space for public discussion on these mistakes. See, whenever a mistake is made in a democratic government, they give space for public discussion. There is a room for correction. There is a room for correction in democracy. See, when the leaders make any mistakes in democratic form of government, these mistakes can be corrected after public discussion. Rulers have to change their decision or they themselves could be changed. Okay, let's talk about the broader meaning of democracy. Students get to learn about democracy, thus helping them to identify a clear set of minimal features that democracy requires. The common form adopted by democracy is representative democracy. See, there is representative democracy. That means the people elect their leaders by voting. In democratic countries, all people do not rule. We elect our leaders. Okay, in some countries, what happens where population is less, people themselves rule. They don't elect any representatives. But in India, the population is very high. Everybody cannot rule in India. So they choose the leaders who can rule the country on people's behalf. A majority is allowed to take decisions on the behalf of all the people through their elected representatives. See, when the winning party that has formed the government, they take decisions on the behalf of the people. Okay, so in a democracy, people choose the leaders. They become those who have won the elections. They become the representatives. They make decisions for the country on the behalf of the people. Okay, modern democracies involves such a large number of people, so that, see, in a democracy everybody cannot sit together and take a collective decision. Even if they could, citizens do not have time, the desire, or skills. Everybody cannot form a huge group. All the people of the country cannot come together and make decisions for for their country. Even if they can, they do not have the time, skills, and desire to do so. So democracy as a principle can go beyond. See, democracy is not only in government. Even in home you can have democracy. Okay, even in schools, in any institutions, in any offices. Okay, democracy is not only about government. In your family also you can have democracy. For example, your father gives you a chance to know what your decisions are, then he will make the final decisions. Okay, he will take your opinion regarding some matters, then he will make the final decision after consulting you all. So everywhere democracy is applied, everywhere, not only in government. People use the word democracy to describe any existing government, but to set up an ideal standard that all democracies must aim to become. See, there should be an ideal standard for democracy. However, the ideals of democracy are considered that no country in the world is correctly democratic. Sometimes we can say that no country is fully democratic. They might show they have democracy, but actually they don't have democracy. They are not giving full rights to the common citizens to choose their leaders or representatives. Still, having understanding of democracy is an ideal will explain the value of democracy. So, the broader meaning of democracy is that we have representative form of government. We choose the leaders, and the leaders take decisions on our behalf. In a modern democracy, all the people cannot come together and take decisions. Even if they can, they do not have the time, skill, or pay probably money, or desire to do so. Every single person cannot come together and make decisions. So we should know the value of democracy, and it enables us to judge an existing democracy. We can see in a democracy, we can know the weaknesses. We can we can know the difference between a good democracy and minimal democracy. And democracy is applied not only in government, it can be applied in any sphere of life. uh, okay, in a democratic government all the people have to be consulted. Everybody's consent should be taken, and those who are not powerful have the same say in taking decisions as those who are powerful. Democracy is not only in government, it can be applied in family or any other organization. And yes, so in existing democracy we can pinpoint the mistakes, we can find out the weaknesses. And so this also means that no country is a perfect has perfect democracy. The features of democracy that we've discussed provide only minimum conditions of democracy. No country is known as ideal democracy. There are faults in every democracy, but we can correct our faults. Democracy is better than monarchy. Democracy is better than the rule of the king or the rule of a dictator, because it's a people's government. People elect their leaders. So, yeah, it helps you to judge existing democracy, and it helps to distinguish between minimal democracy and good democracy. The most important form of democracy in today's world is being ruled through people's representatives. That means people elect their leaders, then leaders collectively take decision for the interest of the public. Okay, So, however, for a small community, there can be other ways of making democratic decisions. All the people can sit together and make decisions directly. Thank you. So, I'll recapitulate what I have taught you. Okay, what is democracy and why democracy? Democracy is a form of government in which people can elect their leaders. All the governments may not be democratic. Some government may have monarchy, some may have dictatorship, some may have army rule. In some countries, the dictator is ruling, the military dictator, the queen, the king, or army people are ruling. They do not have democracy. Those are non democratic countries. Our country is a democratic country because we can elect our representatives. Our representatives or leaders of our country make decisions for our country and they run our country effectively. Okay, now, yeah, the features of democracy in question form is that who are the rulers in this definition, what kind of elections constitute a democratic election, and who are the people who can elect the rulers or get elected as rulers. Finally, what form of government is democracy? See, in 1999, Pervez Musharraf forcefully became the president of Pakistan. He removed the actual democratic government in Pakistan. He overthrew the democratically elected government and he said, I have become the president by a referendum. When Pervez Musharraf was ruling, they had elections, but those who are elected by the people have no rights. The final powers are in the hands of Pervez Musharraf. He was like a military dictator. He forcefully ruled Pakistan, and the people had to blindly obey him. Those who have been elected by the people do not have powers. The final powers are in the hands of Pervez Musharraf. So this is not democracy. In democracy, the decision should be rested with those who have been elected by the people. In China, let's move on to the example which will tell us the second feature of democracy in China. Elections are held 5 years, and the Chinese parliament is called National People's Congress. Before anybody has to take part in elections, they have to take the permission of Communist Party of China. Chinese Communist Party is dominating China. Other parties do not have any rights. Government is always formed by the Chinese Communist Party. Earlier, only the members of the Chinese Communist Party won elections. There were 3,000 people in Chinese Communist Party. Some were elected by army, and in National People's Congress there were 3,000 people. Some were elected by army. Most of them were elected by Chinese Communist Party, and all the decisions were made by Chinese Communist Party. They only formed the government, and elections were held, but finally the powers are rested in the hands of Chinese Communist Party. So that is also not democracy. In democracy, one communist party or one party should not dominate the country. Okay, now so next is, let's see the example of PRI. After Mexico became independent in 1930, they had elections, but from 2000 elections were always won by PRI. PRI used dirty tricks to win elections. The government officers were forced to attend the party meetings. The teachers were forced by the PRI party to force the parents to vote for only PRI party. Polling booth was shifted from one place to the other place so that people cannot vote in the last minute. PRI spent a lot of money for campaigning in elections. See, in democracy, one person must have one vote and that vote must have one value. Until 2015, in Saudi Arabia, women were not allowed to vote. In Estonia, the Russian people were not allowed to vote. And in Fiji, The Indian Fijians were denied voting. Everybody must vote in democracy. Rule of law and respect for rights. See, we should respect everybody's rights in democracy. In Zimbabwe, after Zimbabwe became independent, Robert Mugabe started ruling in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe became independent in 1918, and Robert Mugabe's party was called as ZANU-PF party. ZANU-PF party dominated the people of Zimbabwe. They harassed the opposition political parties. They harassed the journalists of newspapers. They controlled radio and television. They harassed the judges, and they ignored the court orders. Okay, they harassed the people so much that they established the rule by force. So we can say that how can we reduce democracy? Rulers elected by the people should take major decisions. That means the rulers who are elected by the people must have final powers, and there should be free and fair opportunity to the people to change their leaders. Election should be free and fair. That means if somebody has won the elections, they should lose the elections for the next time. The same party should not win elections, and everybody must have choice and opportunity on equal basis. The exercise of choice leads to government limited by basic rules of constitution and citizen rights. Arguments against democracy. Let's see what are the disadvantages of democracy. Leaders keep changing in democracy, that leads to political instability. Democracy is about power play, and it has no scope for morality. In a democracy, many people have to be consulted in a democracy, and the people who are elected, they do not have know what is good for the people. They make bad decisions. Democracy leads to corruption because it's based on electoral competition. Ordinary people do not know what is good for them. And arguments in favor of democracy. Democracy is the best form of government because it is answerable, it is responsible. Democracy improves the quality of decision making. Democracy can deal with differences and conflicts. Democracy gives dignity, respect to the citizens. Democracy corrects your mistakes. It gives a room for correction. And a broader meaning of democracy. Okay, students know the difference between minimal democracy and good democracy. See, the common ours India has a representative democracy. Okay, we elect our leaders, and they are our representatives. They take decisions on our behalf. We cannot sit together and take decisions. There are people called representatives who are elected by you to take decisions. We cannot take decisions for our country because we do not have the time, skills, and desire to do so. Democracy is not only in government, it can be in family or any other constitution. We must respect the other people in a family or organization. The leader must not impose his rules on people. He should give space to the people. And yes, and uh, in a democracy, the weakness of existing government are pointed out, and yeah, democracy has a lot of value, and the ideals of democracy are considered, then no other country in the world is correctly democratic. Okay, and yes, in it can pinpoint the mistakes of existing government. The most common form of democracy in today's world is people's elected representatives. See, we have representative democracy. That means we choose our leaders. Our leaders run the country on our behalf. But in small community, there are various ways of decision making, democratic decision making. Everybody can come together and make decisions directly. But India is a huge country with a high population. Everybody cannot come together and take decisions. That's why we have representative democracy. Thank you.